I got an unbelievable watch market update for you guys. You know, this cake is unbelievable. You know, I gotta tell you a little story about this cake. You know, I got three grandchildren, three boys, you know, three boys I have. And those three little munchkins prepared this for me, you know. Unbelievable cake, you know, as you can see. You know, these grandkids of mine were unbelievable, you know. And they're trying even to join. They told me today, they told me, Grandpa, you're not gonna believe this, but they said, Grandpa, I uh, I want to join your army. And I told him he had to talk to a couple of the members, you know, to see if they accept him in the army, you know. He says he wants to join our army too. You know, I have three grandkids, you know, Jacob, Jackson, and Jaden. Unbelievable, these three kids of mine, you know, unbelievable. But today we have an unbelievable watch market update, guys. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, for real. I also want to say thank you at this moment for that super chat from Dr. Evil. Thank you very much for that super chat, Dr. Evil. I really appreciate that. Thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I really want to tell all of you that today is my birthday and I feel real good. I reached a number that I thought I would never reach in my life, which is 63 years old. With the kind of life that I have lived, I never thought I would reach to 63, but I did make it to 63, so I'm very, very, very happy. When I say with the life that I had, I'm not saying that I had a bad life. I'm just saying that, you know, just a lot of stress and, you know, things of life, you know. So I made it, so I'm very, very happy. Take a look again at my cake before we put it to the side so we can start a show. One more time, I'm going to show it to you guys. It's beautiful. These grandkids of mine, they love me and I love them. Look at this. It's unbelievable. Look at that. The colors. The colors of your army. You know, there it is. Look at that. Look at that. It's unbelievable, like cake, you know. Unbelievable. This is, I think it's called Betty Crocker. I don't know, something to that, but it's unbelievable. All right. So I'm going to put this to the side. Let me give a couple of little blows here. You can sing happy birthday to me, you know. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. All right, guys? Okay. One more here. Okay, let's get into the show. Let's get the show. Let's move this cake to the side so I can get into business with these gentlemen that they need my help. You know, and with the watch market update that I'm going to give you today, it's going to kind of scare you, to be honest, because it's unbelievable, those prices that Sweet Cake Kino, you know, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. He finds those prices, you know. It's unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start the show by saying, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You know, click the bell. I'm getting better with that. Click the bell so you can get my notifications. Kino told me I had to say the word notifications. Not only to you, but to the platform. They hear it, you know. So, you know, the bell, you'll get the notification when I'm live and all that good stuff, you know. Don't forget to give me a like as well. All right, guys? Don't forget. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you a little bit about precious metal quickly. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that gold, it looks like it's making its move, you know? So we got to be very aware of what's happening. Today, my wife got me a special jungle juice. It's jungle coconut juice, you know? Unbelievable, that wife of mine. You know, always watching over me. Unbelievable. Gold is at $3,420 an ounce and climbing all the way up, you know, all the way up. And ladies and gentlemen, agua de coco, papá, agua de coco. So correcto, Nelson. Rhodium, you know, I've been telling you about you know, watch out with your cars, you know, wherever you place them at, because rhodium is taking off. It's at $7,900 a troy ounce. You know, that word I told you the other day, the caterpillar, you know, the caterpillar converter, you know. Those people go under the cars, they're like snakes and rats, you know, and they get under there and they unscrew it and they do all kind of stuff, you know. So you know what's happening. Be very careful with your, you know, catalytic converter, you know, that word, there it is, you know, be careful. It's only 0.3 ounces in some cars and 0.7 ounces in some other cars. So be careful with that, ladies and gentlemen, you know. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, thank you very much. Thank you so much for those wishes, those well wishes. Thank you so much. I also want to tell you something else, ladies and gentlemen. I had a gentleman that reached out to me, and we were talking, and he was telling me that he put himself on the Rolex AD list. And I told him in a very kind way, please tell me if I said something wrong to him, if I offended him. I just want to tell you, it's a short conversation. You know, he told me that he put himself in the Rolex AD wait list, you know. And ladies and gentlemen, I replied to him this way. Please tell me the truth, what you think if I did something wrong. I told him, sir, I repeat, I told him, sir, Rolex doesn't have a wait list. Rolex has a scam list. And he was kind of, you know, blown away when I told him that. But that is the only, you know, the honest truth. And I'm telling you the same thing, you know, to all of you out there that you believe you're going into a Rolex, you know, waiting list, you're not. You're going into a Rolex. You know, Rolex has a scam list, is what they have. So, you know, I'm just letting you know. You know, you might think whatever you want. You might think whatever you want, but I'm stupid like that, and I say the truth. You know? You understand me? Eso es lo que hay, papá. Eso es lo que hay. I tell you things the way they are. Thank you very much, Hugo Manrique, for that super chat. Thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. I really mean that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, you know? Unbelievable. Kino, te estás llenando de dinero. Unbelievable. So, ladies and gentlemen, I told them that, and I think you said that you agree that I told them that. You know, if you think that, you know, that Rolex has, you know, a wait list, I believe Rolex, what they have is a scam list. That's all. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have a watch market update, but you know, we try to drop knowledge here when knowledge is supposed to be delivered, you know? I try my best. I talked to you about not too long ago about a movie that Mr. Donner, I believe it was, no, I think it was Franco, I don't know who it was. It was about bank, you know, the banking sector, you know? It was all of you. All of you, you know, were the ones that, you know, recommended this movie, you know, about the banking and all that good stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, about the housing market, you know, in 2008. I'm going to do this quickly. You know, we have a city here in Florida, which is called, you know, the West Coast of Florida. You know, Sarasota, Sanibel Island. You get what I'm trying? Marco Island. You know what I'm trying to say? You follow me? Okay, so in this place over there in Sarasota, they have made houses, brand new houses, like you won't believe it, all over the place. And ladies and gentlemen, it's like a ghost town. You know, they have stopped, you know, the constructions. They have stopped everything. And I'm talking about houses all over the place, you know, nice houses. You know, they're asking for the house $500,000. You know, $500,000 is $500,000, you know? And these houses are not able to be sold in that, you know, side of town, you know, the West Coast. You know, over there, Sarasota, Marco Island, Sanibel, you know, over there, you know? It hasn't been able to sell those houses. And what they're saying right now, what happened in 2008, is about to happen again, you know? So, in Naples, you know, para ese lado, para allá, tú sabes para dónde eso es. You know, and they cannot, I'm talking about, look into it. And you might ask yourself, how do you know about that? I'm going to tell you how I know about that. Because I am in the stone business, you know, surfaces for countertops and all that good stuff, you know. And I have a couple of builders out there, And they have been telling me for some time already that things are not looking good. Things are not looking good over there on that side, Cape Coral, that side over there. And they're stopping construction, and banks are locking up already and not giving up no more money. You know what I'm trying to say, Mr. Donut. It's collapsing. And I'm telling you all this because, you sweet people out there want to continue buying watches. And I'm trying to give you the lead what's happening. And luckily, when I sell, when I do countertops, let's say for 20 houses, I basically, I put a lien, I put a lien on the property so I can protect myself and I don't lose my hands, you know, you know what, skip mark underwears. I don't lose them. So I protect myself and I got paid. But a lot of people out there are not getting paid. People that have building materials are getting you know. But Sweet Kikino is always, hey, we need to put a notice to owner, because this is gonna happen. Boom, and it happened. Papi, we have houses over there that people cannot afford a $500,000 house, and they're not ready to make a payment of $3,700 a month in mortgage. They're not ready for it. They don't have it. No hay capital, papi. Okay? So I'm just letting you know about that. So you know what's going on, because we told you about a documentary. I don't know if it was Mr. Donor. Please, if it was you, please put the name of the documentary one more time so these Manishma people don't, you know what I'm trying to say, Eso es así. That's how it is, So I'm letting you know what's going on. Things are looking scary. Things are looking scary, I'm just trying to tell you what's going on. Be careful. If you have children, there it is. No, that's America, freedom, and fascism. But it's the other one about the housing, the banks, and all that. Remember, I was telling you about the banking. Maybe it was Franco Fiore that recommended that one. Maybe it was Franco Fiore. But anyway, be careful out there. If you do have children and they're thinking of buying a house, be careful. Be careful, because the banking system is ready to take all those houses. Fannie Mae. You know what I'm trying to say? Lehman Brothers. Come on, please help me out. Don't leave me alone. Está jodida la situación. It's bad out there. Don't leave me alone. I'm trying to, save you guys headaches. Family. 99. Well, that's 99 homes. It's not that one. Oh, what's the name of it? It was an unbelievable documentary. I told you about it, that I saw. It's. Listen, guys, this is getting very oily and slippery. Very oily. They don't want to tell you. They're not going to tell you because they're not like us. They're not like us. They're not going to tell you. But I will, because I'm stupid like that. And the banking sector is getting ready to take all those houses over there in the west coast of Marco Island, Naples, Captiva Island, Sarasota, over there on the west coast. Papi, it's a ghost town. You need to hear. So what happened in 2008, it won't happen. The Big Short. The Big Short, okay. So it won't happen to you, ladies and gentlemen. Esto está jodido, papi. Esto está salvaje, salvaje, salvaje. And ladies and gentlemen, I like to jump into things to keep on dropping knowledge and to show you something. Because I like to show people. Paco Gambino told me, before you leave Earth, you show everybody what you know. Don't take it with you. You share it with everybody. And I'm going to share it with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe, let me drink a little bit of more so I can relax my body. I'm getting nervous, I told you like a month ago, or maybe 2 months ago, and all of you continue your way, skipping around through life like nothing. And I talked to you about this new toy. This new toy. It's an unbelievable toy. They call this toy La Bubu. They call this toy La Bubu. I want you to know how the owners of the world function and how they work. La Bubu. La Bubu, let me explain to you. La Bubu is a little monster. It's a little monster with little sharp teeth, but he's very kind. He's a monster, but he's a kind monster. And these people, these owners of the world, son una jodienda, papi. Fannie Mae, there you go, Freddie Mac, all that good stuff. You know what I'm trying to say. You know, listen to me and learn. Listen to me. Listen to me. So La Bubu, you're not gonna believe this. In the first 6 months of the year, papi, the government is unbelievable. Distraction, total distraction. So you guys can continue hopping around through life with your lollipop, just sucking on it and forgetting about what's happening in the world while they're doing this to us. You know, while we're getting bombarded, while we're, all this good stuff. You know what I'm trying to say. You know, I can't say too much because they're going to do this to me. Look, you know what I'm trying to say. Ladies and gentlemen, those people sold in the first 6 months of the year. You're not going to believe this. They sold $2 billion of La Bubu. La Bubu, $2 billion, excuse me. Forget about million here. These people don't play with millions. $2 billion, you know? It's an unbelievable, these people are the masses, you know, that are asleep are buying all these little monster toys with sharp teeth, you know? And basically, he's a monster, but they're saying that this monster, he's a kind monster, you know, La Bubu. And they have over 300 monsters, over 300 colors of those monsters. This is unbelievable, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, you people are like, you know, the masses, and they know it. They know it. Don't worry about it. This is how they attack you guys. Listen and learn. These people first say, we're going to find somebody that's a real big handbag collector, lady collector, and we're going to introduce her with La Bubu, and she's going to hang it in one of her Hermes bags, you know, and then we're going to push it in social media, in all the platforms, and all these people, they're sheeps, they're going to follow her. This is the mind, the way they work, papi. It's incredible. This is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. The way, the herd, am I saying the word right? The herd will follow. You know, the herd will follow like sheeps. You know, like sheeps, they follow. You understand? My daughter, my wife, I had to hit him in the head. No more for you. No more. This is unbelievable. Listen, I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest that I have, because I look back at all these toys, you know, Cabbage Patch, you know, the little gremlins, whatever you call them. Papi, this guy is an artist. He's an artist. They get an artist to create this little monster. And he created this little monster, you know? You know, the little monster has big ears. Imagine this, big ears, sharp teeth, and he's like an angel monster. Listen to this. He's like an angel monster. So they get this lady that she's real popular with handbags. This is unbelievable. I mean, I you know, the artist's name, just in case you want to Google it, is Casing Lung. Casing Lung, you know? I honestly believe that he is, you know, he's Asian, you know? He's from, you know what I'm trying to say, Damon. Help me out, please, Damon. Come on, say whatever you want, but say it. Don't be afraid. I can't. You know, I can't. You know what I'm trying to tell you. And ladies and gentlemen, they get that artist, and that artist is unbelievable. That Casing Lung prepares it, you know, and he gives it to the owners, you know, of the round table. And they say, this is it right here. This is how we're going to attack these people again. We're going to put them busy. We're going to get them dizzy. They're not going to see nothing. They're not going to see that the housing market is crashing. They're not going to see that a dollar today buys a nickel. You know what I'm trying to say. You just afraid. You won't say it, but I will. It's my birthday today, and I could. It's my birthday today, and I will tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen. You know? And then they give it to Bionautic. 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 This is unbelievable mythology. You know? These are the people behind it. You know? The ones with the money now. You know? The artists did the little Labubu. Big ears. Sharp teeth. He's like an angel monster. And then that people over there, they're going to push this on everybody. You know what it is? $2 billion in 6 months. These motherfroggers are unbelievable. These motherfroggers are incredible. I have never seen something in my life. I haven't seen nothing in my life. And then these people are so powerful in what they do. They already know they got you already hoodwinked. They already know they got you flim-flam and fleeced. They know it already. And they need that. So while you're buying La Boo, these people are passing everything over there, you know, over there in Washington, you know. Pass it, pass it. They're not looking. They're not looking. They're not looking. They're not looking. Pass it, pass it, pass it, pass it. You know what I'm trying to say? You pass it. That's all. You know what I'm trying to say. Please say it. Somebody for me say it there. You know, because the ICA is the one that controls everything. They push all the buttons, you know? But ladies and gentlemen, they're so nasty. You know, Mr. Damon, he knows about La Boo, Mr. Damon. But I'm going to tell you something now. The art of distraction, is the art of distraction. Deep. The art of distraction, Papi. To distract your mind. To have your 6-year-old kid, 7-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid busy with La Boo. You understand me? I'm telling you what it is. But I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your hair back and knock your socks off when they want to make you obedient slaves. Obedient slaves. You know, when you will watch Popeye and the cartoons, there were people walking all together, you know, and the escalators, and they were getting, you know, this is what they're doing to all of us. But I have to tell you about it. I got to tell you about it. I can't be quiet. Let me drink some more jungle coconut juice. Obey, like the movie, you know? Obey, they live. You know, you obey. And you obey. Because that's how they want you. They want you to be a slave to what they're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. They first get the people with the heavy money, with the heavy artillery, to put the hanging La Boo in their Hermes, and their Chanel, and their Prada, Christian Dior. You know, you understand me? Those people with the big money. And now check this out. Damon, you know what I'm going to say, Damon? Please tell me, Damon, if you know what I'm going to say. Please tell me if you know what I'm going to say, Damon. These people are unbelievable. Son una gonorrea. Let me tell you, man, the way they work, they do that MK Ultra on all of us, and it's unbelievable. Here I go. They were not happy just, you know, hanging them those toys, those little monsters on those expensive handbags. Now, they're going to make little La Boo-Boos this small. And guess where they're going to be hanging at? Does anybody know where they're going to be hanging at? Nobody knows, right? They're going to be specially made for your phones, your portable phones, your iPhones, your Samsungs, your Galaxies, to hang it on your phones. These people are unbelievable, man. These people son el diablo. Satanás, papá. Son el diablo, mijo. Satanás. Ustedes están bregando con gente mala. Papi, we're dealing with people that, you know, these people, they don't, these people are monsters. These people are monsters, papi. They want you, you know, walking into the slaughterhouse. I'm not supposed to say that, but I said it. They want you walking into the slaughterhouse. And this is the same way they attack you guys with watches. The same thing, papi, the watch businesses. I don't care what they tell you, papi. Tú estás jodido. El negocio de los relojes está jodido. Listen to me. There's people out there that don't have it no more. The stores out there are empty. Maybe you don't realize because you're cutting a check every week and you're fine and dandy. But there's people out there that están jodidos. They don't have, man. School just started right now. You know, school. And if I'm telling you all this so you know what's going on. I'm going to jump from La Bubu. I explained to you what they're doing now. The new attack is selling you little La Bubu so you can hang it on your phone. You know, because some of these people, these young people don't have a Hermes bag. They don't have a Chanel bag. So we have to get the ones that are least fortunate, and we're going to get them too, you know, because this is the country. The country, though I said it wrong, this is the world where everybody wants to buy something. Even if you take it and you put it in a corner and you never look at it again, but you spend the money, you know? And this is what's happening. And I'm telling you this so you guys can get prepared. I told you about the housing market. I'm telling you about La Bubu. I'm telling you about gold. Come on, guys. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's come on. Let's be smart. Smart money is staying away from luxury goods. I'm going to tell you one more so you know what's happening in the world. You know, I always tell you guys, listen, if you want to keep on giving your money away to those flim flammers out there, that's fine. That's fine. But you know what? Instead of giving it to them, give it to, you know, animal shelters, you know, the homeless. I have said that. But I'm going to tell you something now that's very, very, it's not a good thing. There's people out there, ladies and gentlemen, that they can't take care of two people, you know, two people. Or we eat, humans, or we eat, or the dogs, or the cats, or the parrots, whatever it is, they eat. They got to choose, or the animals, or the humans. So people don't have much money no more to be buying Alpo. Remember that food, Alpo? When I was a young kid, it was Alpo. It came like in a can, you know. I don't know too much about food today. Today, my daughter gives to her little, she has a little Pekingese, and she gives her a little Caesar, you know, a little Caesar thing. And you're not going to believe me. One of those little things this small, like this, it costs you like $3. Dog food, $3. I'm talking about this small. People are taking their dogs to the ASPCA because they can't do it no more. Or my children eat, or my dogs eat. I just leave it there for you guys so you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to cover everything today on my birthday. You know, I'm talking about animals. Owners of dogs and animals are going to give up their dogs because they can no longer afford maintenance of a dog. Do you guys know how much it costs to groom a little doggy? Can anybody has dogs out there? Tell me how much you pay when you groom your little puppy up, you know? When you get it more nice. Tell me how much. Tell me how much it costs you to cut their hair. There it is. There it is. Look at that. Then maybe you guys can pay the $150, the $75. Maybe you could. But people no more can pay no more. What do we do? Big one, $250. $50 for a wash. So you have grooming, room and board. Papi, they can't. No hay más, papi. No hay más. No hay más. Did I call that food, you know, because somebody's calling it Little Caesar pizza. There's such a name of Caesar, right? Caesar, Little Caesar pizza. I don't know, little food, right? Caesar. And I'm telling you, my daughter. No, I was gonna say that right now. I was gonna say about the vet, Damon. I was gonna say about the vet. And if you take to do a limpieza, to clean their teeth, my daughter took her little doggy to do it. They put her to sleep, they knock her out, bing, bam, boom. They did this, they did that, pop. Papi, 5 bills, 5 Franklins. So help me God. 500 maracas. Hay dinero por la calle. There's no money out there. And we continue. Listen to me. I told you last week about that over there, the group swatch over there, with 30 umbrella watch companies under them. They don't know what to do with it. Exactly. Gets you in the door. So people are giving up their dogs. People are, if they used to buy in the delicatessen, give me 2 pounds of ham. You know how much 2 pounds of that ham, the little pork. I forgot the name of that brand. My wife buys it all the time. I tell her, leave it alone. That's too expensive. It's crazy. Even that too. Thank you. They're cutting now to give me half a pound. From 2 pounds to half a pound. Give me some salami. Give me some prosciutto. Boris head. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Damon. I said the little pork, right? Boris head. And these people, there's no more. You want this monster cheese. You want this, you want the German Swiss cheese. You don't want this Swiss cheese. Papi, la gente tan jodida. The watch industry is going down. It's going down. It's going down every day. And I'm going to keep on telling you every time. Because somebody has to tell you, because I'm stupid like that. Taylor ham. There you go. Taylor ham. Papi, you can't even go no more to the delicatessen. If you go to delicatessen, right? Let's say you go to Whole Foods. Yeah, my wife goes Whole Foods, right? Whole Foods or Publix. But Publix too. Publix. And you go there and you buy 5 things over there. Ham, turkey, cheese, American cheese, no lie. You ready for this? You're going to spend on those 5, at least in our household, that I told my wife, oye, suave, suave, easy, suave, suave. Vamos para Sedanos, vamos para el Presidente, vamos para Bravo. I'm telling you, you spend on those 5 items $60. You don't believe me? You don't believe me, right? You don't believe me. Okay. But I gave you everything to prepare you for more of what's happening out there. And they're selling lab-grown meat. You see, every time that somebody says something that I want to say, they say it, I get happy. We're getting a lot. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. They say that McDonald's sold, I'm just going to say, billions of burgers, right? Right, billions. Let's say billion. They sold, I don't know how many billions of burgers they sold. Ladies and gentlemen, and they sell, I don't know how much every year. Please pay attention, because I'm not going to say this again. And if anybody knows where I'm going with the McDonald's situation, please put it up there. Please. Beat me to the punchline. I love when you guys beat me to the punchline. So they say they sell millions and millions of McDonald's burgers. Have you ever sat down and think to see if we have the cattle enough to support those numbers? Do we have cows all over, the United States to support what they're saying that they sold? There's no way, papi. There's no way. There's no way in the world. I'm not going to talk too much about this because you guys are not ready for this. I can see that a couple of you are, but that's another conversation. Because if we go to, if we go to Monsanto, if you want to talk about Monsanto, you want to talk seeds of death, I'll blow your mind. You're not going to beat me. You're not going to beat, I can tell you, you're not going to beat me. Bobby, when I leave this channel, there will never be no one like me again. I said it wrong because everything I know, my shadow, it's unbelievable. You people continue skip hopping around through life while I'll keep on throwing you a word here and a word there. Somebody said pink slimy. That's beautiful. Pero papi, listen to me. In this USA, all the farms, all the land that is all over the place in this country and outside too, but let's just stay in this country. I know my friend told me to keep it simple for you guys. Thank you. Bobby, they're buying everything. And it's that guy. You know that guy? You know that guy that, the guy from the computer with the glasses, he's funny looking. That guy. And he wants to depopulation. You don't know about that. You don't know. Papi, that's a conversation that I'll chew you up. The moose. The moose. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is because I'm stupid like that. And what do I get? I don't care. I get this. Bobby, I'm going to tell all of you something now. Every single one of you. If you want to see a documentary, now it's me recommending. Watch Seeds of Death. Okay? Seeds of Death. We are all being slowly You know what that is? You know what that is? I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. All of us. When you wash your mouth, with fluorine, all that good stuff. Listen, man, seeds of death. And if you want to go deeper, you go to Monsanto. Exactly. Monsanto. Listen to me. There has to be a way. I don't know how much exactly we have in the planet, but I believe we have something like, maybe hit the number already. Maybe somebody like Christopher Damon, or I don't know, Dr. E can tell me how many people, how many humans are living in planet. I think 9.5 billion, is something to that? Something like that? I don't know. 10 billion? And, and there you go. There you go, Mr. Purple. Keep on dropping knowledge there. I can't be doing it all for you guys. 7.8 billion. There you go. Yeah. How is it that you take? How is it that you take, Doritos? Those Doritos, the Super Bowl, they come out with Doritos. Doritos, those chips. Listen to me. You take a Dorito and you light it up with a lighter, and it'll spark up. What does that happen there? Come on, man. Listen, guys, let's go into a watch market update because you guys, 8.2 billion. There it is. 8.2 billion humans in the world. Doritos. You listen, and I love Doritos, Papa. And I'm going to tell you something real funny. Sometimes I know, listen to this. And I want to know if this happens to you 21 Organic Watch Channel subscribers. Sometimes I know that the food from McDonald's is terrible for us. I know that. Sometimes I'm with my grandkids and they want to have a Happy Meal and all that good stuff, right? And I know that it's bad to have a, double cheeseburger, one of those things, And I have one of those because it's been already implanted in me, you know. I know it's bad, pero coño, we know that drinking too much alcohol is bad. We know that doing too much drugs is bad. So it's the same thing. This burger is bad, pero coño, it tastes unbelievable. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody does fries. Listen to me. Nobody does French fries like McDonald's. Nobody. Nobody. I don't know what those cockroaches put in those fries. The best fries in the world, are McDonald's. Damon, thank you very much for cooperating and supporting this channel. Unbelievable. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much, Papa. Thank you so much. Let me get this thing here. Ding, ding. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I hope, I never thought that we were going to enter this conversation, from La Bubu to food, Bobby, those burgers will get you, man. Those burgers will leave you homeless. They'll leave you homeless. You don't understand the documentaries that I have seen. I've told you already that I am a documentary fanatic, and I'll keep on telling you this. And they put a man there that he ate. We have ¿cómo se llama eso? Those not guinea pigs. People like the rats. They inject them with this, inject them with that. What do they call? Those people they volunteer to do this experiment. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. So this man volunteered to eat hamburgers. Hamburgers, and we're not gonna name what company because it's not good either. You play with it. And he ate hamburgers for 20 years straight. A lab rat. Thank you, a lab rat. Thank you, Mr. Dona, coño. Ese Mr. Dona, Kino, coño. Hay que regalar un bizcocho. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, this man became a lab rat. And he ate hamburgers and all their food for 20 years. We shouldn't be talking about this because this is not a good thing. It's my birthday and it's not nice. But anyway, the man was bombarded inside his body by, and he said it, that food killed me. He says, that food killed me. Papi, that's not real food. It's not real food. It's not real food. My wife tells me every day we need to start growing tomatoes. No lie. Thank you so much for that super chat, Ricardo Cruz. Gracias, manito. Muy amable. Gracias for supporting the channel. Thank you, Ricardo. Gracias. And I'm trying to tell people always these things, and they look at me like I have 50 heads. I don't have 50 heads. I told you already that I'm a student, and I already told you that Paco Gambino told me everything you know and you have learned through life, share it with others. We have many people that they're not awakened. They're not awakened, and you can ask people out there, says, what do you rather have? You rather have some pasta with clams, or you rather have a burger with fries and a shake? And they're gonna tell you, get ready. They're going to tell you, I'll have a burger with fries and a shake. That's how it is. I'm telling you, Mr. Thurston Howell III, thank you very much for that super chat, and thank you for being here as well. That's the most important thing, Thurston. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much. And people don't wanna believe that, because la ignorancia, ignorance is grande. You take a little boy, and he's growing up, and he's the whole day eating breakfast from fast food restaurants, and eating a McMuffin with eggs and cheese, and then you tell him you want to have in the house, 3 eggs, a slice of bacon, this, they said, no, I want that place over there because it's like La Bubu. You understand me? It's like La Bubu. Try to understand what I'm trying to tell you. It's like La Bubu, papi. And it's them. It's them. The ones that get you. Papi, that's a plan of attack. They have talked in this country. You have people like Mr. Turner. You know Turner? You know that guy, Turner, Unbelievable, that Turner. And that guy, he said it like this. He said that the planet, I don't even know how we got into this conversation. The planet, so it can function, correctly, accordingly to what these scientists say, according, to that guy, the guy that buys all the land and he does the computer, him too, that guy. He's never been a doctor or a scientist, but he's one. He's one of them, So the world can function correctly. We need to drop it down from, I believe that Christopher said 8.2 billion people live on Earth. And he said, this is unbelievable. This is genocide. He says, if anybody knows, put it up there. Thank you, Dr. Evil. And if anybody knows, please help me out. But I'm telling you, he says something like around 3 million people. I said it wrong. 3 billion people. Exactly, that guy. Who's that? Amica, Florida. Exactly, that guy. Turner. He said from 8.2 to 3 million. 3 billion. Papi, is serious. What's coming out there is serious. If you don't see me no more, they put, the black hood on me and they took me away. Hey, let me go. Or you'll be in our team or we clip you. That's how it is. You saw the guy with the gas. Yeah, if you go to Georgia, have you ever seen those coffins, those plastic coffins? Don't get me started. You don't know about this. You guys don't know about this. You don't know about this. You don't know about. Let me get some jungle juice to relax. I'm telling you, you know what it is to bring it down from 8.2 billion to 3 billion? Hola, papi. Amico, Florida, when you say that's BS, what does that mean? That I'm BSing you? The ICA, there you go. The ICA, papi. They are involved in everything. They are involved in everything. That's it. You know it, Dr. Evil. You know how much money there is on coffins, in each coffin of those plastic coffins, because they're talking about a big, disaster. Too many. They're thinking about a kaboom. A kaboom, and millions of people are gonna just go away. And they had those plastic, plastic, like Tupperware, and they say that each of those things. Listen to me. You don't have to believe me. Just Google it. Go to your favorite platform and Google it. Put it in. And you're gonna go, oh my God. Forget about body bags. These are like coffins, but they're plastic. And they say that in each coffin, plastic coffin, I really don't remember the number, but it was something crazy. It was like around, you can fit in there, like sardines, you can put in there probably 8 or 10, something to that. It's crazy. So, we are in a time that a lot of things are going to happen, and I'm not going to see them. I told my grandchildren always, and I told my children, I won't get to see it. Probably, maybe they have a chance to see it, but I believe the ones they're going to see what's coming are my grandchildren. That's the truth. And I'm not talking here like a whack. I'm just dropping some of this knowledge because you guys wanted to keep on hearing about this, and it's a scary thing, man. What's happening out there? It's a very scary thing, guys. It is, man. What's coming here, and it's gonna have to happen. It's gonna have to happen because these people play with numbers, man. These people play with numbers. They sit down and they say, "Hey, man, what do you think? What do you think that thing was? That the Crown beer. The Crown beer. What do you think that Crown beer was? It just didn't explode like it had to. It didn't explode. La cerveza Corona, la cerveza, la birra, la birra Corona, no funcionó. It didn't function how it had to. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go into a watch market update. All right, here it goes. Coño, I think I'm scaring these people. Corona, it didn't work out the way they wanted it to work out. Porque había muchos palomos y muchos lambones. Exactly. It didn't really, boom! Because, and let me tell you, I'll tell you this much. This I will tell you before I go into the watch market update. There are a lot of people that have had a lot of when they got that, like Joe Frazier, the jab, the Joe Frazier jab, when they got the jab, some of them, so those people that got the boxing jab, they were never the same, They have some kind of, something happened, a condition, So I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Let's talk about a watch market update, right? You guys ready? Guys, we've been talking for 57 minutes, man. Oh my God, scary. Ladies and gentlemen, our first watch market update of the evening. It is the Panerai Lumina Submersible 42 millimeter, 3 days. 3 days, rose gold. The PAM 974. Retail price is $31,900. Sir, do yourself a favor and don't pay for that watch. I mean, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $14,200 and bang! You do whatever you want. It's your money. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Yacht Master. Factory. All factory. White gold with a pave dial. I mean, there's, diamond bezel. It's an unbelievable watch, To get that watch, you had to go through the back door. And they would do something to you. They would, wax your sinuses, if you understand what I mean. And they will give you this watch. It's an Oyster Flex, 42 millimeter, unbelievable timepiece. 226679 with the letters TBR. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a boutique piece. Boutique, off catalog. Don't pay for that watch, and you do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more, and I mean more than $104,000. And you do whatever you want. It's your money. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking about a Patek Philippe Calatrava. Listen and learn. Patek Philippe Calatrava. Travel time, 5524 rose gold. But this 5524 rose gold has a stamp. And you know what stamp that is? The Tiffany stamp. Tiffany and Company, on that watch. Unbelievable. It's a beautiful looking watch. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. This is a watch that normally, without the Patek Philippe stamp, costs something like $63,000. but this one has a stamp. And they're asking out there because we check everything in the comps everywhere, you know, over there, over here, over there, we look at everywhere. And they're asking for that watch because it has that stamp, you know, that stamp. Thank you very much, Thurston, for that super chat. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, Papa. Thank you so much. Thank you. It has a stamp that is Tiffany and Co. And they're asking for that watch, $90,000. The casing is rose gold and it has a leather strap. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay. You do whatever you want, sir. You do whatever you want. You can continue maintaining their lifestyle. Their lifestyle is almost done already, believe me. Ya están jodidos, papi. You know, they're hurting. They're hurting big. They're hurting real big now. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch. Don't pay. Listen to me. Don't do it. Don't pay for that watch more, and I mean more than $48,000. And ¡dame! ¡Dame! Kilo, guárdame para atrás. Guárdame para atrás. Jálame para atrás. Jálame. 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 No, 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 no. ¡Dame! 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 Entonces jodió. I'm on fire. 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 Beautiful cake. My grandchildren prepared for me. I got to show it to you one more time before we... It's unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this, but I'm going to talk to you about a watch that they're using this watch on you guys, like La Bubu, you know, to get you, you know, La Bubu. This one I talked to you about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. We're talking about F.P. Jorn. You know, F.P. Jorn. You know that one? The Elegante. You know, it's unbelievable. Reference number ELHT, 48 millimeter. With a rubber strap. Unbelievable time machine. Has a battery. A battery that lasts like 20 years. You take off the watch, you put it on your night table, and the watch stops. And when you put it back on through the morning, whatever time it is, it goes to that time. So unbelievable, but it's this. To get you deep. To get you deep. I am a student of looking at things, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, they want for this watch. They're out there asking, you know, these people are unbelievable. They're ticks. They're ticks. You know what those dogs get? Ticks, you know, in their ears and stuff, you know. These people are cretins. These people are cretins. And ladies and gentlemen, they're asking for that watch out there, and for you to get it, you need to go to a boutique to give you a battery watch. To give you a battery watch, you gotta go to the boutique through the back so they can give you a massage. And ladies and gentlemen, they're asking $90,000, $100,000. Not on my time. Oh, Bobby, not on my time. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more. Listen, we have to say the prices accordingly to the way they are. We cannot lie here. If I lie to you guys, you 22 won't come here no more. You won't come here no more. But don't pay for that F.P. Jorn. And I mean, don't pay for that F.P. Jorn. Don't pay more. You know, titanium. You know, it's titanium, white dial, rubber strap. You know, they're trying to be like the other guy, like the Richie Millies. Don't pay more. And I mean, don't pay more than $72,000 in dumping. 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 Dumping again. Unbelievable. What's going on here? Some more jungle juice. Thank you, Flip. Thank you so much. You were close, Mr. Donut. You did better than me. You did better than me. They don't believe me. They don't believe me. They don't believe me. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Oyster Flex. No, I said it wrong. Next watch is a Rolex stainless steel Oyster Perpetual 41 millimeter Pistachio dial. Pistachio dial. 134,300. Retail price is $6,650. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been telling you these watches are dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. And I'm going to tell you again, don't get scared, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, you heard the retail price of that watch, $66.50. And when it came out of the gates, you know, when it came out of the gates in the Kentucky Derby, it was up there, $17,000, $18,000. And I tell you, stop being lollipop suckers and window lickers. You cannot continue being possum kickers and cow tippers. You know, no more. No more sandbags in this channel. No more crumb bums in this channel. No more tomato cans. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on fire today. I'm going to tell you the truth. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch more than $11,600. And dumping! Dumping! And ladies and gentlemen, get it through your head. It's dropping by the day. By the day. Those days of hitting grand slams and home runs, you know, with two men on base are over, man. You can't buy a watch for $6,600 and you know, I'm going to sell it for $15,000 and make $10,000 when there's people out there giving up their dogs to animal shelters because they can't afford them no more. No more Caesar food, no more dry food. Kino, hold me back, man. I'm out of control, man. Hold me back. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting there. It's getting there, Thurston. It's getting there. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. Our next one, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this one. It's a Rolex stainless steel Oyster Perpetual 36 millimeter. The Lavador. You know, I don't know. It's like a purple. I don't know. 126000. 36 millimeter, ladies and gentlemen. 36 millimeter watch. Retail price is $63.50. $6,350. Don't pay for that one, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be dodo birds. Don't give it up. Don't do it. Don't pay more, and I mean more than $11,200 and dumping. 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 Don't do it. You tell your wife to wait. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a watch here, which a lot of you love this watch. We're talking about no other than the Rolex, you know, GMT root beer. Unbelievable. You know, stainless steel with rose gold. You know, it's an unbelievable looking watch. I'm not a real big fan of two-tone watches, but this one, for some reason, you know, I like it. You know, it's nice. It entertains me, to be honest. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the reference number of that watch is the 126711CHNR with a retail price of $18,150. Unbelievable time machine, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. And I'm going to have to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. You know, I'm telling you, don't pay for that watch. Listen to me. Don't pay. Who said that? Retail. Don't pay for that watch. Thomas, you said retail? Don't pay for that watch. Does anybody know what price I'm going to tell you not to pay for that watch? For that GMT root beer? Two-tone stainless steel rose gold? Does anybody? Nobody knows? No saben. Okay. There it is. Thomas. We'll stay with Thomas right there. With Thomas. Don't pay for that watch, and I mean don't pay for that watch more than $16,300 and dumping. Uno más. Dumping. Kino said one more. Otro. Dumping again. Kino's on fire. I know what I'm telling you. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen. This watch was over at one moment $350,000. Listen up. $350,000. $310,000. $280,000. $250,000. We're talking about the Rolex yellow gold Le Mans, black dial, white gauges. You know, Le Mans retail price $50,000. $50,000. No sean lambones. No sean palomos. I already told you what's happening with La Bubu. I told you what's happening in the housing market. I told you what Rolex has in the wait list. You know, I told you about seeds of death. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rolex Yellow Gold Le Mans, reference number 126528, 40 millimeter, blacked out white gauges. Does anybody know what price I'm going to tell you? It's a heavy hitter. It's a heavy hitter. I already told you where it was. All the way up. All the way up. They're not like us. They're not like us. We have rules in this channel. Not suggestions, rules. You saw what happened to the little kid in the Bronx public school. He went complete with his uniform. That's right. Only he had one sock. It was white and one was red. And he was sent home. He was sent home by the principal of the school. Because in that school, they have rules, not suggestions. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Le Mans. Don't pay for that Le Mans. You see, when I see people that give these numbers, I go, oh my God, we need to continue working hard to help them out. You know, we need to work harder. Don't pay for that watch, for that Rolex Le Mans. Don't pay more than $208,000 and ¡Dame, Kino, aguántame! ¡Jálame, Kino! Kino, jálame! ¡Jálame, Kino! ¡Jálame! ¡Dame! ¡Dame! ¡Dame again! Se jodió, Kino. Se jodió. Today, I'm not messing around today. Not playing around, Papa. I'm not playing around. I'm not. No te jugando, Kino. I'm not playing around. I'm not playing around. I'm for real today. You do whatever you want with your children's tuition money. That's your problem. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you the results. I'm giving it to you. You do whatever you want. It's your money. No sigan de lambones. No sigan. Watch. Right now, watches. Abi, look into rhodium, man. Look into rhodium. Don't buy it. Look into it. Look into it. Yes, you were, Christopher. Yes, you were. But I'm here. I'm in your side. I'm in your team. You belong to our army. Our army. You belong to our army. Listen, guys, and this is no lie. When I sent both of my children to go study, you know, I did part of the financing for these kids, for both of my children. And I'm going to tell you, when I say stop giving away your children's tuition money, I mean that. Because when I looked when my kids were done and what I spent it, I could have a Go Fast car to myself. That's what I got to say. And a red one, if you know what I mean. Ladies, she does. She laughs at me all day. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another watch here for you guys. We have an AP Royal Oak, frosted, white gold, chronograph with a purple dial. Purple dial, you know, they take you back there. They give your wife a little bit of champagne with a strawberry, you know, so the strawberry can, you know, take everything, and when she bites into the strawberry, pong, her head. And she doesn't pay. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a beautiful watch. The reference number of this watch is the 26331 BC. You know, purple dial. Boutique edition in the back. You know, right in the back there, in the back. Back there. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch at one moment, if anybody knows what this watch was worth at one moment, they were asking for this watch over $400,000. And now 400 BS numbers, $400,000 for this watch. And I'm going to tell you today, because I got to tell you that if you're happy today, it's my birthday. I reached the number of 63 years old. Papi, I don't know what's the average age of my Organic Watch Channel subscribers, but reaching the number of 63 years old is unbelievable, Papa. And I feel still, man, that, you know, I still go out to the, to the golf course and I slap that ball and I play a little tennis. And now my wife wants to get me into this game that's called like pickle, a pickle, like it's like a racquetball, like a tennis, but it's with a paddle, And I don't know about that. I still feel like I can play tennis for real, I'll leave it there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that frosted AP Royal 26331 BC purple dial. Don't pay more, and I mean don't pay more. Purple dial, purple dial, Christopher, purple dial. Thank you so much, Dr. Evil. Thank you so much. Listen to me. Even if it wasn't my birthday, I try to give you every time a great show. Maybe sometimes I'm a little off because I'm tired, blah, 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 blah. But in reality, I try when I put my face out there for you guys, I try to give you the best of myself. Well, yes, that came out good, man, right? No lie, for real. Anyway, don't pay for that purple Adamas Piquet Royal Oak. Okay, 125 sounds good. 125. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. Thank you so much, Franco. Is it Franco? Yes, it is Franco. Franco Fiore. Don't pay for that watch. I think Thomas said 125, and I'm going to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Don't pay for that watch more than $142,000. Dumping! What am I making? Dumping! I'm telling you what it is. Me fue la voz. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Richard Mille. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of weeks ago, I told you about this Richard Mille. The RM023. With a burgundy trimming. A burgundy trimming. Hold on, guys. I need some. Unbelievable, this jungle juice is unbelievable. It gets me going, My wife knows, she lets me do this, I told her, you go shopping and let me do this. And she told me that's a deal. That's okay. So I do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I talked about this Richard Mille, the RM023 rose gold, and it has a trimming inside the dial of a burgundy color. And I told you for this watch a couple of weeks ago, don't pay 90 plus. 90 plus. Richard Mille watches is for lollipop suckers. I don't care how much, listen to me, you could all be billionaires. I'll still say those for lollipop suckers. Lollipop suckers. Don't pay for that Richard Mille RM023. Don't pay more. Richard Mille watches are dead in water. Don't pay more than $83,500. I'm not even going to give it a drop. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. Tapping! Se jodieron. Vamos adelante ahora. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a gentleman here that a couple of weeks ago, he asked me, please give me a watch market on a watch. And he told me he wanted a watch market update on a Patek Philippe Nautilus, stainless steel, with a black dial, with Roman numbers, 42 millimeter, 3710. And I told him a couple of weeks, so you understand how this is going, how it's moving, So you understand how the watch market is moving. So you understand. I said $64,000 for his Patek Philippe. I told him $64,000. And this watch was for Franco Fiore. Franco Fiore. Franco Fiore left me a very sweet message today in our group. He said there that he's been flim-flammed and fleeced for so many years from those guys, those Muppet boiler room secondary grade watch market channels and dealers that he can't even buy no more a La Bubu. Unbelievable, that Franco. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Jumbo, beautiful watch, one of my favorite, the Comet. And I told him 64,000, the 3710. Has a little, it's a beautiful, this watch is beautiful. It is, it's very beautiful. Don't pay for that watch. Franco, this is for you. Don't pay for that watch more than $57,000. You do whatever you want, right, Papa? That's for you. That's for you, Franco. That is for you. Our next watch is a Patek Philippe Complications Chrono. Listen to this watch. The Comet. The Comet. Correct. The Comet. Maybe you guys can get it even more economic than me, you know. But I'm just telling you what I have, you know, reached my lap, you know. The Patek Philippe. Listen to this watch, because this is a stunning watch. This is the Patek Philippe Complications Chronograph 5172. You know, white gold, beautiful chronograph. But ladies and gentlemen, these people make that dial color unbelievable. It has a salmon color dial. Salmon. Listen and learn. Listen and learn. Leather strap. Maybe, I don't know, does Christopher like this watch? Christopher? I don't know. Okay. It's beautiful. Chrono 5172 white gold with a salmon dial with a leather strap. The retail price of this watch is $92,365 plus your Uncle Sam's taxes. And you have to be, you know, stripes. You have to have stripes to get that watch. Okay, no. Okay. You have to have stripes to have that watch. You know, they have to take you back there and, you know, do what they do to people of that magnitude to get that watch. And that watch went all the way up. I mean, it went all the way up. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you. Don't pay for that watch, sir. You want it, you're going to get it. You just cut, you know, a clip. You cut a clip from this, you know, live stream, podcast, whatever you call it, and you send it to that dealer. And when he sees my face, he'll shake on his boots. Don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch. I believe Mr. Christopher, somebody said 45, somebody said 75, and here it goes. See, we have mix here. We have a mix of people with numbers. Don't pay for that watch more than $49,500. It's terrible, Papi. It's terrible. It's terrible. Be careful. Ladies and gentlemen, here it goes. The Rolex Stainless Steel Land Dweller. White dial, 36 millimeter. Reference number 127234. 127234 with a retail price of $14,150. Ladies and gentlemen, here it goes. Here it goes. You did. Here it goes. You did. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay. Listen to me. Damon, listen to me, Papi. Listen to me. Don't pay for that 36 millimeter. Rolex Stainless Steel Land Dweller. White dial, 36 millimeter. Reference number 127234. 14 and change is the retail. Don't pay more than $29,900. Dapping! Dapping! Se jodió! Dapping! Se jodió! Dapping again! Dapping again! Jungle juice. We have 2 watches left for this watch market of it, and we're done. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here a Patek Philippe two-tone, rose gold and stainless steel. The 5980 blue dial, 40 millimeter. Retail price is $78,070. $78,070. You know, unbelievable watch, unbelievable, and it went all the way up, all the way up. You know, there was a big line of tomato cans, lollipop suckers, window lickers, crayon eaters, unbelievable sandbags, crumb bums, ready to give away their children's tuition money away for that watch. You know, we want a two-tone Patek Philippe Nautilus with a blue dial. And they were paying over the $100,000, $175, $150. Stop it right there, Thomas. I think Thomas is he's a dealer. Don't pay for that Patek, and I mean this, don't pay for that Patek more than $89,000, and it is dropping. And it's dropping real quickly, okay? And I mean quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last watch market update of the evening, and it is a Rolex stainless steel Land Dweller. That's right, Land Dweller. You know, this is the 40 millimeter. This is the one that everybody wants, to be honest. You know, everybody wants the 40. This is how these Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channels and dealers work. You know, they know that they make the pistachio in 36 and they make the pistachio in 41. They know that where the meat, where the heavy meat is left, is in the 41, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So this one, they know where the meat is at, is in this one over here. But I'm going to show you something now. Okay, Mr. Donut, I like your ways. I like your ways, Mr. Donut. This watch is the 127334 with a retail price of $15,350. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the truth, and you, from here, you do whatever you want. You guys are on your own. You spend it as you please. But I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch, and I mean don't pay $1 more. And you cut a clip if you're looking for this watch. If you do like it. Maybe none of you like this watch. You know? But this is what it is. Exactly. Main course versus a salad. You know? Exactly. Hey, these guys are so smart, man. Que son gente inteligente aquí, ¿no? Son abogados, doctores, de todo. Multimillonarios, Bill Gates, you know, Steve Jobs. My God. Listen to what he put, and I'm going to show you my number. He put $38,000. And I'm going to give him the bell. I'm going to give him the ding, 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 and no more. Don't pay for that Land Dweller 40 millimeter. I'm going to take it out already. I'm not going to tell you. Show it to them. Wow. I got to show you my notes. It's the second one. You guys see it? Don't pay more than $38,500 in dumping. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's your watch market update. Thank you so much for spending time with me on my birthday. Let me show you my cake one more time. I'm going to show you my cake one more time. Unbelievable, you guys. You guys are great. Let you see this cake that my grandchildren did for me. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Evil. Thank you so much for being and spending time with me. Here's my cake. I'm going to show it to you. I don't want it to fall down. I'm going to hold my, look at this. This is unbelievable, this cake of mine. Look at that. It's unbelievable, that cake. Look at this cake. It has there my name. You know who did that cake for me? My grandchildren. There it is. There's my cake. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much. It means a whole lot to me that you guys spend it with me. An hour, 2 hours, I don't know what it is, on my birthday with me. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. By you being here, you're supporting the channel as it is already. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for everything from the bottom of my heart. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I feel 63 years younger. Thank you so much, guys. Good night. Have a good one. Take care and brush your hair. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I'm going to have a couple of drinks now. Take care. Bye-bye, guys.